Hello everybody and welcome back to Factorio. We are just about done. Now before I dive in, just as a quick heads up, a very kind person, kind viewer, reminded me that I have not been putting lights down, right? The base has been rather dark. So, in between last episode and this one, I went ahead and took the time to install a mod called Afraid of the Dark. And what that does is it just makes lights a little bit more effective. And then what I did is I went around and I put lamps everywhere. So hopefully when nighttime comes, things are quite a bit more bearable for you guys. So I'm sorry about all the darkness that you've had to deal with. I really appreciate your patience with me as I get more and more used to this whole YouTubing thing, all that fun jazz. So yeah, thank you again for reminding me that I was forgetting to put down lights. So I really do appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. All right. So we are just about done. We just need to gather some supplies and put them into the car. So, a lot of these we can just grab right off the line, right? Like the steel I can just grab, iron gear wheels I can just steal, electronic circuits I can just grab off the line. So these three I'm not too worried about at all. The piercing rounds we need to automate, and the solar panels we need to automate. We do have a lot of solar panels up here. Let's actually see how many we have, because I can steal from those. 180, so we're close. We only really need to assemble 20 more. So yeah, let's get started with assembling stuff before we actually try putting it all into our car. So let's get started with the piercing rounds. So what do piercing rounds need? So we open up, we look at the piercing rounds, and we need 5 copper plates, 1 steel plate, and a firearm magazine. So that means we need the copper, we need the steel, and we need the iron. So we've got iron here. I haven't brought any copper up. So let's go ahead and make ammo. That's going to take 4. That's going to take 4 iron plates to spit out 1 ammo. So that's why I'm putting 2 fast inserters there. And then, actually, you know what? I'm going to move this further up. Let's go ahead and clear these rocks out. See, it's nighttime. So things look a little bit brighter now, hopefully. Fingers crossed. I hope this mod is doing the trick. And then, like I said, I tried to put lights everywhere, so fingers crossed. Anyway, let's drag the iron up, and then let's see, how much steel does it need? Just 1 steel. So let's drag the copper up. We're going to go ahead and just split it off here. So we're going to go 1, 2. Split copper up. Like that. So then what I can do is I can do this. And then that can go there, and then there. And then you can do red rounds. And then now we've got the copper right there. And then we'll do a long-handed inserter for the steel, and then we'll output our rounds into a box. And then we just need 200, so just to be on the safe side, I'll just put 2 slots there. That should give us 400 once everything is all said and done. So now let's just get this all... Oh, I need the steel. Let's bring the steel up. Let's bring the steel up. So we're going to go 1, 2. I like to keep things nice and orderly that way. There we go. Like that. Now we've got our steel up. Alright, let's get everything powered on. And there we go. We should be getting red rounds soon enough. And there we go. Perfect. Perfect, perfect. So we'll let that run for a while. Now let's start automating solar panel. So solar panel, Where is it? There it is. So solar panel requires copper plate, steel plate, and electronic circuits. So we've got the copper and steel. Now we just need electronic circuits. I also need to build some more of these, so let's build more of those. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to split off these green circuits. So let's see. Let's do it here. Seems fine. And then let's run that along like that. And then we can just run this up that way like that. So now we've got copper, steel, and green circuits. And then that should give us everything we need. Perfect. So then we're going to do solar panels. And then again, I'm just going to limit it to like 4 stacks. Cool. There we go. Alright, we should be good to go here. Cool. So now we just got to let those ride for a bit. So while we let these ride, let's go ahead and get our car out and let's start preparing the rest of the resources. And then we just need to play the waiting game, and we're pretty much done. So I mean, this might be a really short episode. We'll see. Depends on how quickly those things can get crafted. So we're going to run back over to our chests here. Open this up. See, we've got 2 cars here, so I'm just going to grab 1, right? We don't need 2 cars. Now, let's see. Our train is down there. Everything's backed up because we're not really using our resources all that much anymore because everything is nice and backed up, but it's all good. But yep, we got our train running down there, making sure we've got a nice, awesome, steady supply of copper. Everything's looking good. Let's go ahead and plop. Actually, let's open up the map, see if we're in any danger. I think we're okay. Yeah, I'm not seeing any biter nests that are going to cause a problem. So, lovely, lovely. Alright, let's plop our car down. Where's our car? There we go. Let's plop our car down. And then let's go ahead and get some steel plate, where it looks like I already got 100 in my inventory. We just need to go and steal some more steel. So let's come on down here. I'm also going to steal the gears because I know I'm going to need those. So let's steal some steel. There we go. Stick that in the car. So we're going to open up our car here, and then we're going to shift left click to put just 1 stack in. And now that's our 200. So now we need gears. So we can, again, how many gears do I have? Just 36. So we can steal these gears, and then we can go to our red science, right? Because we have a lot of gears over here. And that's going to craft a lot of gears for us too. So we can just bloop, steal all those gears. And just keep stealing gears as they get made. And that'll be good. How many are we at now? 100, 200, 13. We're almost there. Almost there. We can even craft plenty of gears ourselves. There we go. Alright, I think we should be okay. Yep, we're A-okay. So let's go 1, 2. And then we'll just put the 81 in there. It's a little bit too much, but whatever. We'll just also put the steel in there, because why not? Alright, electronic circuits. We need 500 of those. We already have 100. But let's steal green circuits. Hooray! Look at all these green circuits. Isn't it lovely? There we go. And that's more than 500. So 2, 4, 524. Alright, so those are all the intermediate pieces that we need. And now we just need the piercing rounds, where we have 72 of those ready to go. And then we need solar panels. We got 15 of these ready to go. Now, in order to keep the factory working while I tear down our solar, right, because I'm going to use these too in order to speed things up, let's go and expand our power, our steam power. So let's see, how much steam power do we currently have? We've got 10 boilers. So let's do 10 more boilers, which means 20 more steam engines. So 5, 10. And then I need a bunch of iron. A bunch of iron. There we go, that's plenty. 5, 10, 15. I need more iron. 20. There we go. And let's expand our power. So that way when we tear down our solar power, it's not going to just make our factory collapse. Because I don't want to make our factory collapse. That would be really sad. And then we're also going to need more pipes. So 5, 10, 15, 20 of those ought to do the trick. And then we're going to go 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Drag these along for the ride. Grab some inserters. I'm pushing Q to just grab everything, by the way. That way I don't have to grab them from my hotbar or from my inventory. If it's already nearby, just use Q to grab it. And then let's get our steam set up. I'm just going to put some ghosts down real quick. That way I can space out our power cables, or our power poles as well. Lovely. And then let's also grab some lights, because of course we want lights. So I'm going to put one there, and one there. Sweet. We're just waiting for our engines to finish crafting. Almost there. Almost there. This has been a tricky level. As we're waiting for things to craft, let's just review everything that we had to do in the level, right? There was a lot that we've done over the last 9 episodes, right? We first came here, we saw that the base was a wreck, so we tore it all down. Then we explored the map and took a whole bunch of stuff off the map, right? Solar panels we took, a whole bunch of resources we took from around up here. You can see the little base that we found up there. We just took all the resources and all the freebies we could, right? And that was like a whole episode all by itself. Then we spent forever just wiping out a bunch of biters. Again, I would recommend that if you're not used to playing defensively, try playing defensively the first time you do this tutorial level and the other tutorial levels, rather than just killing the biters outright like I did. That way you can learn better how to play defensively, how to automate your defenses, that kind of thing. You can figure that out. Because when you go into free play, if you don't change any of the settings, the biters do get harder and harder over time. So knowing how to play proper defense is going to be really helpful. So do play defensively. But yeah, we ran around, we wiped out a bunch of the biters in our area, and then we started to build our factory, right? So we started to mine everything. I taught you guys how to do some filtering. While it's not perfect, it's not ideal, you can see we still have some iron blocked up here because I'm just not using the stone. You can get the general idea on how the filtering works, right? The stone and the iron come down, the stone keeps going straight, the iron gets pulled off to the side and then routed to the bus. There's also some coal here that also gets split off and routed back up this way. And then there's a little bit of stone here on this coal line. So the stone gets split and then routed around this way. And then we have our iron and our stone going this way. The stone gets filtered out and thrown onto the bus. And then the iron will then continue to filter through onto the bus as well. So learn some really cool filtering tricks. We then ran into a major iron shortage as we continued to grow and expand the factory. As we automated science and started creating a mini mall, we started to run out of resources, right? So in our emergency situation, we went over here and we just set up mining and ran belts to the base in order to solve our iron problem, as well as get us steel up and running. Now that we solved the iron problem, we got steel up and running, we were able to set up trains. Now, I don't have a radar down there. I should put radars here and here, but you can see our train running. So we got our train set up, right? where we have copper mining here, and then the train comes to pick up the copper. Remember our train setup, right? The train goes to the copper pickup. It then waits until its cargo is full or until it's inactive for 5 seconds. Once its cargo is full or it's inactive for 5 seconds, it takes off and then circles back to our copper drop-off. It then waits there until the cargo is empty or until it's inactive for 5 seconds because everything is all backed up or something and it's not able to pull off for 5 seconds. It then loops back around and picks up more copper, right? So we have ourselves a little train loop, right? If we wanted to add to this, and I'm not going to, but if you guys want to, feel free to do it, right? But if we want to add to this, we can add another train or even use the same train if you want to, and have it pick up iron as well. You can add another car perhaps, and then have the first car load copper, have the second car load iron, and have it go to both copper pickup and make an iron pickup, and then have a copper drop off and a iron drop off, right? That kind of thing. You can have it pick up coal as well. Why not, right? Do all sorts of stuff. Something else you can do, which again, I'm not going to do, but feel free to experiment, is you've got coal right here, and then you've got copper and iron here. So you can even smelt on site and then load the plates into the trains. So instead of copper ore loading into the train, you can load copper plates into the train. And instead of iron ore loading into the train, you can have iron plates load into the train. And while you don't have to do that, and while a lot of people don't, there are potential benefits there. The first major benefit is that a stack of plates is 100, whereas a stack of ore is only 50, right? So that means if you convert these ore into plates and then load it into your train can hold more plates, right? Which is awesome. That increases your throughput as long as you're able to load the trains really quickly, which is very possible if you use something called stack inserters, which we don't have access here in the tutorial level. But there's another inserter type called a stack inserter, which grabs multiple items per swing, which makes it really quick to load up trains, especially if you do a more efficient train loading setup than what I did. And there's some really cool train loading setups. For example, if I load up my favorite Catherine of Sky blue books here, blueprint book here, she has rails, right? She has all sorts of cool rail blueprints. And I will send you her way soon enough. But I believe she has, she's got loading blueprints, right? So here, for example, if I right-click this, we can take a quick look at her blueprint. So how she has the setup is pretty cool. She assumes a four cargo wagon setup, right? So you have the ore coming in. She then just splits it pretty evenly here. And then she does a very similar structure to what I was doing, right? With the buffer chests, and then just loading them into the train. She's using fast inserters here, but you can make this go faster by upgrading these to red belts and then upgrading these to stack inserters. I think she's got a better blueprint for that right here. So if we load that up, you can see here, she still uses the fast inserters to load the chests in, but she's using stack inserters to load the trains. So that kind of thing. So yeah, pretty cool. This is a really efficient method for loading. It's pretty sweet. And on top of that, she's able to load in both sides, right? Because, the cargo wagon can be loaded on either side, so you can load both sides. So all sorts of really cool train setups. And Catherine of Sky, again, highly recommend her blueprint book. It's fantastic. I will put links to all of the YouTube channels that I'm referencing in the description of this video now that we're nearing the end. I think this might be our last episode for the tutorial levels. Alright, let's go ahead and finish our power expansion by bringing the water all the way down. Lovely. So now we've got tons of steam power, which is awesome. So now we can go start tearing down our solar panels so we can get those loaded in. So let's see here. Yeah, I'm just going to run in here and start taking them down. That's fine. I'm not going to take down the accumulators because, they can store power still. They can take excess steam power, for example, and store it. But, whatever. That's not really helpful because, I mean, unless the steam power runs out of coal or something, then the accumulators can keep your factory running for a little while longer. But typically the accumulators are just for storing solar panel power for use at night. But yep, just tearing down our solar panels here. And then we should have enough assembled in our chest to get the solar panels all loaded up into the car. Perfect. Alright, let's squeeze out of here. Go back to our mini mall here and see how many solar panels we've got. Yeah, we've got an extra 50. Sweet, that's plenty. Let me actually drop the additional 30 in here. There we go. Okay. Click our car, and then 50, 100, 150, 200 solar panels. Now let's see about our armor-piercing rounds. We've got 200 of those ready to go. Sweet. So we are basically done. So before I load this in, again, I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching, everybody. I really appreciate all of your support. I'm actually, honestly, very surprised at how well the series is doing. I know it's not a huge milestone in the grand scheme of things from a YouTuber perspective, but I'm super excited. I have a few episodes now that are over 100 views already, and I just started this YouTube channel not too long ago, so I'm super stoked, super excited about this. I really appreciate everybody's support, and I really appreciate everybody watching. So yeah, so before I turn this in, a couple of just final notes. Like I said, we already reviewed everything that we did in the factory. You can copy me if you want, but again, feel free to experiment. Feel free to play around, right? You don't have to do things my way. In fact, normally I don't really do things this way all that often. I was just building stuff as we needed it, right? You can organize your base even better. There are much better ways to organize your base. You could organize your base way worse and just build whatever you feel like building as you need to build it. Totally fine. Experiment. Totally cool. Now, as far as this tutorial series goes, right? This is going to finish off the tutorial levels. So once you're done with these tutorial levels, you are ready for free play. Free play is a lot more advanced. This tutorial level 5 barely scratches the surface of the game. This game is deep. I've got over 300 hours in this game, and as you guys can tell, I am still learning all sorts of stuff. This game is deep, and I love it for that. Now, there are plenty of other people out there that have played thousands of hours of this game, so they are very knowledgeable at this point. And a few of them have YouTube channels that are very popular in the Factorio community. Just to, I'm going to give 3 that I personally watch shoutouts. The first is Catherine Sky. She is my absolute favorite. She's a joy to listen to. She's a joy to watch. The way that she plays, it resonates with me really well. So, absolutely fantastic YouTuber. Again, I stole her blueprint book. She's actually got an ongoing beginner to Megabase series that she's doing right now, actually. So, I'll send you guys a link to her channel in the description. Please go check her out. Give her some love and support. She is absolutely fantastic at this game. Absolutely incredible. She's the one that really got me into this game. Super cool. The next person I want to really give a shout out to is Yamakara. So Yamakara has a free play playthrough where he goes from the beginning through the rocket launch. So he doesn't go all the way up to Megabase, but through the rocket launch. But what I find really cool about his playthrough is his base is not organized at all. It is the definition of spaghetti and disorganization. And it's amazing, and it's glorious, and it shows that you don't have to do really fancy advanced structures to get through this game, right? You can just build things as you need to build them in whatever way that you want to build them, and it all works out. So check out his channel. It's super cool. He also has awesome tutorial videos on things like trains. So super good guy, super chill guy. The third one, and admittedly I don't watch him very much, I'm not his biggest fan, but he has done a lot for the Factorio community, and that is Nilaus. Nilaus also has a Base in a Book blueprint book, which rivals Catherine's of Sky's blueprint book, where he gives you the blueprints that you need to go from the very beginnings all the way out to these grand, huge bases. And he calls it Base in a Book. So, really cool. It's a really cool setup. So if you're interested in that, please do check him out. He does a wonderful job. He's not my favorite cup of tea. I prefer Catherine of Sky, but that said, he does a wonderful job, puts in a ton of effort. So yeah, definitely give him a shout out, give him a look. Again, I'm going to put all of these YouTubers down in the description. So now, now you'll be able to understand them better. Because again, the whole reason why I started this tutorial series is because I remember what it's like to be a new player, and I remember how confusing this game was at first for me, and I was looking up tutorials left, right, and center. And these other YouTubers, they are amazing at explaining the game, but they have a lot of base assumptions, right? They're used to playing the game at a very advanced level, and sometimes they forget to explain the lower level details to kind of help the beginners get started. They do a pretty good job of it, especially Catherine of Sky as of late, but I remember what it's like to be new. I still feel like I'm new. So I felt like I could teach you guys how to hit the ground running, how to do the basics, and then that way, once you got through my tutorial videos, you are well set up to watch theirs and be well on your way. So yeah. Anyway, let's go ahead and finish this off. Let's finish this off. So let's go into our car here, place our 200 piercing rounds, and boom. We are done. I am ready to go. Congratulations, everybody. We have reached the end of the tutorial. You're free to continue playing on this level as long as you like, or exit and build a new factory in free play mode. Free play is the main way of playing the game. You'll start with only a few supplies, and you must build your factory with the goal of launching a rocket into space. You'll research and explore the full feature set that Factorio offers to help grow your production and defend it from the natives who do not like you. Thanks for playing the Factorio team. So yeah, also as a reminder, there is a free demo of this game. If you've not already downloaded it, please download it. The demo gives you all of these tutorial levels that we've played through. So that way you can learn how this game works, you can play with it yourself without spending a single dollar, right? Now, this game is absolutely worth the money. Like I said, I've already gotten 300 hours out of it, and I don't get 300 hours out of a lot of games, right? And I'm still playing. I love this game to death. I might end up going into the thousands of hours eventually myself. But yeah, download the demo, try out these tutorial levels. If you like it, then I definitely recommend. It's well worth the money. It is not a $60 game, but I think it is definitely worth $60, if not more. So you will get your money's worth out of it, I promise. And enjoy free play. And while I might move on to other games every now and then, I will probably come back to Factorio and we'll do some free play together. It'll be a good time. You'll be able to see me as I try to figure things out, as I try to learn, and I'll try to teach you things as I go, even though I'm going to be a lot more sloppy than some of these other YouTubers out there. But who knows? Maybe that's your thing. Maybe you just want to see me struggle, and that's going to be a good time. Alrighty, well anyway, thank you so much for watching, everybody. Again, I really appreciate your support. You guys are fantastic, and have an amazing day.